So, welcome to Paper Dollhouses. Again, I am your host, Nashini McLean, and tonight we have a special edition of mental health therapy. Um, the therapy that I'm doing tonight is going to be on raising self-awareness. So, in order to do so, we have to be able to look at different diagrams or different ways that you can kind of break down um, yourself and find out yourself more. My favorite thing right now is called the Johari Window. Um, Actually, I had watched a show on Netflix that I highly recommend to everyone. It is called Russian Doll. And the basis of Russian Doll is kind of wiping away the past, reprogramming yourself from traumatic abuse, and being able to progress forward, especially when it comes to growth. So I absolutely love it. But Johari Window was mentioned in the show. And my curious little self, I needed to go look it up. And I actually found out a lot of great things about it. So let's kind of get into it. Johari Window was created by Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham in 1955, hence the name Johari. Joseph and Harrington. Um, it's a technique created to help people better understand the relationships with themselves and others. It creates self-awareness and mutual understanding between the individuals. And this method, you can get others such as I can get myself or you uh, with personal development among individuals and even in social surroundings. So even if you're at work, if you have your own business, kind of dealing with people on a day-to-day basis is kind of difficult. So with that, you're always dealing with interpersonal communication on a constant day-to-day basis, but it's kind of hard when you're dealing with your own mental transgressions as well, because now you're taking your mental transgressions, the other person's mental transgressions, and you're not going anywhere forward because you can't figure out what's going on. But Johari Window to the rescue. It will help you. Um, so the model that they use, which I'm going to show you today, is used to enhance the individual's perception of others. This model is based off of two ideas. One, trust. It can be acquired by revealing information about you to others and learning about yourself in their feedbacks. Every person is represented by the Johari model. There are four windows: personal information, feelings, motivation, and whether that the information is known for ourselves. The second one is basically working with others. So with the second one, you're having the ability to process what other people are thinking at the same time. So with that, probably can't see it, but here I have a nice little written out example of my Johari window. And I'm probably going to walk you by step because it is backwards. So there are four known quadrants, with the Johari window. There are your known to others, you're known to self, you're not known to self, you're not known to others. And these four quadrants are your open area, your arena, your blind spot, your hidden area, or your facade, and the unknown. So number one, all you gotta do is make a box. Follow along. You're just gonna make a quick box, and then you're gonna make it like a four square. You guys remember four square? I remember four square. What you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of like diagram it out. So you're known to self, you're known to others, you're not known to self, blah blah blah. I'll put a link on the video to where to go find this diagram so you can make your own. So the first one is info about the person, your attitudes, your behavior, your emotions, your feelings, your skills, all that different great stuff. These are things that are known to, let's just say me. We're going to use me as an example. So known by ourselves or others. So we all know that I like to read books. This is a known fact. I know this. My daughter knows this. My coworkers know this. Everyone knows that I like to read books. That is a known factor. Others will agree that I like to read books, and I will agree with them as well, because this is a known factor. This is my open self. This is what I let everybody know. It's a behavior shown by me consistently enough to develop a pattern. So, oh my gosh, now she's going to have a book because now she always reads books constantly. Okay, so then your number 2 is your hidden area. This is more the not known to others, that facade that you develop. And seeing as this is paper doll houses, and in the fashion of paper doll houses, I'm about to do something that's probably going to be uncomfortable for me, but that's the goal of the show, right? So I'm going to go ahead and gonna reveal some things, kind of pull it over to that open area or arena, and I'm gonna let you guys know this now, share it with you. One of my hidden things that only I know that I don't want others to know as I get older because of my issues and my insecurity is when I was younger, I dealt with a lot of insecurities and pains because of my family and my traumatic background, which is true, and everyone really knows that about me. But what they didn't know was that after I got sick and in the hospital, I lost a grip of weight. I liked what I saw, and because I couldn't keep food down. So then what ended up happening was I acquired the feeling of that. And unfortunately, I used to throw up everything I ate because I grew up in a household of insecurity and image. That was their biggest issue, was image. And so I was definitely afraid to gain the weight back, not just because I liked how I looked, but because of I was afraid what was going to be said in my household. So I would eat a lot when nobody was looking, I'd throw it all up. So that unfortunately is something you guys know about me now that is no longer a gray area, and it can now be pushed over to the gray arena, which is also a good thing because you're releasing things. The whole purpose of my show is for you to release and reveal things about yourself that you felt like you never could reveal before in order for you to move on. Um, Number 3 is your blind area. So behaviors that are shown by me that I do not see that are noticed by others, good or bad, which is kind of often a bit. So if I was unconsciously doing something as a pattern that then others pick up on it, they can mention it to me, like, "Hey, Nasha, you know, you're walking around in circles. You have a blue tail," something like that. If I hear that from first person, it's just kind of based off a theory. If I hear it from 2 people, it's now based off a conspiracy. And after a third, 7th person's telling me that I'm walking in circles and I haven't tell, well, then maybe I need to stop walking, turn around, and look to see, even though I know I don't have it. But it's the consistent pattern, the blind areas that I'm not paying attention to, that other people may be paying attention to that I am not seeing. So that's your blind area. Your unknown area, this is the info where you're unaware to yourselves as well as others. This can be due to traumatic past events. So there's people who have hidden talents that don't come out until they're older because of past traumatic experiences when they were younger. You know, something simple like, you know, you wanted to draw when you were younger, and your family didn't want you to draw, or something like that. Anything traumatic that stops you from drawing, being raped or being hurt or being, I know those are the extremes, but the point is that the ability to draw is now gone, but it's still there, and it can still technically be a factor. That one I have to really more look into as far as the unknown goes. But my assumption of the unknown is that it's more hidden talents that you're not aware of, or abilities or skills that you have yet to progress. It's kind of like getting drunk and not knowing if you're the funny drunk or the happy drunk or the silly drunk. Like, you don't know until you're drunk. And so it's the same thing with everything. So releasing the traumatic pains from your past and being able to progress forward is kind of what makes you a more sufficient person. And also this skill is to help you progress forward with not just knowing people, but understanding that this isn't just you're not the only person that has this Johari window. There's a lot of people out there that have hidden secrets, hidden talents, hidden whatever, and they're basically off of events from the past that they weren't able to handle. Stuff like that. And it gets really sad, but it kind of helps you get a better understanding of not just yourself, but anyone else. I would advise anybody to go and make a Johari window. And if you don't feel like you don't want to make too many bullet points, honestly, make the square. Take the square, write it out. Like I said, I'll add a link of what it looks like. You probably can't see my messy handwriting because it is backwards. Make a square, and then I listed all my things down here, and I listed all of my some of these are notes, but a lot of these are notes about me, things that things that I didn't even want to resurface for a little bit, but I realized with me bringing them to the surface, it's kind of pushing everything to that gray open area. So I'm more open, not just with myself, like, I went through this past traumatic pain, but I got through it. That is the ticket, and that's the key. And the more you keep thinking about that, then what ends up happening is then that unknown becomes more known. Because something as simple as small as you got beat as a child. I know that's not really small. I know it's not small, but it could be something you heard as a child, and it made you mentally regress any skill or emotion that you may have had for the future that you need to progress forward with. So you're still in this area, and then this area becomes way bigger than your open area. And you want this open area as big as possible because you want to have the ability to progress forward. It's really hard to progress forward when you're putting so much here. And this is more your traumatic cycles. If you think about it, it's you don't know who you are because you're still trying to figure out the unknown. And the beauty of my show is that you can go ahead and pull out the fears of the unknown and be able to progress forward. So we can reveal those talents, and we can reveal those we can reveal those talents, and we can reveal those things in you that need you to progress forward. We just the whole thing is becoming more self-aware of who you are as a person. And I know that the hardest thing in the entire world to do is to expose you to you. Take a mirror, put it in your face, and say, this is who I am, this is where I came from, and this is where I'm going. And that is the very hardest thing in the world to do, especially when your background isn't pretty. Believe me. But, we have a lot of the new generation to look forward to. And this new generation is going to progress us forward as people. So, we have to figure out what to do now. So at 45, 50, 65 years old, I mean, that's not really the time to really figure yourself out now. So I really would recommend this window to everybody, kind of really taking the time to write down stuff. You never know, you might get so much into it, you hit those blind spots, you start calling around to friends and family, and you're like, hey fam, what about me do you see that I keep creating patterns of, do you think I need to fix? Man, like you're too crazy over the opposite sex, or you're so busy fixated on drinking, or you're fixated on the wrong things. And so, man, every single time we see you doing the wrong things, you keep putting yourself in the same predicaments, and you're not progressing any forward, kind of creating your own butterfly effect. And that kind of really sucks. And so you're not pulling anything into your open area or your arena. And now you've got these patterns you're choosing to ignore. You got these hidden areas that you're choosing to not say. And this is what's kind of making that unknown bigger. And this is what creates your stress and anxiety. So I know it really wasn't a big help, but the best thing to do is to constantly seek help. Seek somebody that's going to listen to you. Seek somebody that's going to talk to you. I'm always here. If you got to hit my YouTube inbox or hit my Facebook inbox, my Instagram inbox, half you got my phone numbers, call me. That's what I'm here for. I am dealing with my own things as well, but with these lessons, I'll continue to grow. In the meantime, I do want to help others grow, because I know that we are in a society, and especially in an era of a lot of mental anxiety, depression, aggression, everything you can think of with the shun, we're there. And that's only because of our birthrights, or it's where we came from. But it's not where we're choosing to go. And we're not progressing forward as a nation because we're so busy fixated on the wrong things. So, like I said before, we have so much to fix, and I want to help fix those things. I'm probably going to start doing a lot more of these videos as this one is short. I just really want you guys to really look into this Johari window. I'm going to put the title of it on the video. You probably can see it as I'm doing it. Go look it up. Go do some research. If I didn't cover everything, send me a video response or something saying I didn't cover up everything. That's fine. Let me know I'm wrong. Help me out, because I'll be okay with that. The whole purpose of this is I just want you to look into you. I want you to look into the mirror and not be afraid of who you see anymore. Okay, so this is Paper Doll Houses with Johari McClain and my children that refuse to go to bed. I'm going to bed now. You guys have a good night.